Hi, my name's Rue, and I am definitely someone who has been living with psoriasis. I discovered I had this disease when my little daughter, who is now in her 20s, was around 3 years old. She was covered with a rash from head to toe, and we brought her to a million different dermatologists. No one could figure it out until we finally brought her to an old family friend who was a dermatologist who lived far away from me, and he realized it was psoriasis, and she was covered. And believe it or not, ever since she got psoriasis, I have had psoriasis. People say it's not contagious, that they don't understand how she got it and then I got it, but it's 20 something years later, and I have had psoriasis ever since that time. And I've been diagnosed with psoriasis multiple times. So I've had this disease for like 20 something years. My reaction of accepting it and when I got it, I guess I was okay because I felt like I wished I had it more than my daughter had it. I didn't want her to suffer through it, so it was almost like a strange thing that we both got it at the same time. And she has lived her entire life with it. I have lived like almost half my life with it. And it's had its roller coaster ride. Sometimes it's like breaks out really severe, and sometimes it doesn't. At the beginning, I don't remember exactly the extent that I had it, but I know after I had it for a few years, it got so bad that I almost thought I had leprosy, or I even thought I might have AIDS because my skin was so scary. It was my legs, I would hide them constantly. I would never wear anything that would show my legs. My legs were so bad that I was almost petrified to go to the doctor. They got so bad. They were scary as can be. And when I did finally get the courage to go to the dermatologist on that round, he said it was psoriasis. And he put me on this like intense drug that he wasn't even allowed to use, but I was so devastated and scared and desperate that he got some kind of, I don't even remember the name of it, but I remember they were these huge silver pills, and they were used for people who had transplants. I had to get my blood checked once a week. It was like a scary medicine. The side effects, I wouldn't even read them because I was petrified of even the side effects. But I did go on it, and I went on light treatment for, I'm going to say 3 to 6 months. The light treatment I did longer, but the pills, I don't even know if I was allowed to be on them for more than 1 month. It was a long time ago, probably like 15 years ago. It was literally right before Hurricane Katrina because I was going to New Orleans and I didn't want my legs to look like that. And that's why I begged him to give me medicine before I went. So however long ago Katrina was, this was when I had my worst time of psoriasis. The medication actually worked. And the light treatment, I continued light treatment for a very long time, and it also really worked for me. And then it stopped, of course. And then my psoriasis has come back consistently, but never to that degree ever again. And I feel like for me, I keep it moderate. I use topicals right now. I don't take anything oral. And I have it on my legs, my knees, my elbows. Basically, maybe I'll get like a spot somewhere else. But to me, it's so mild. Sometimes when I go to the doctor, they are like, "That's mild," but I'm like, "Yes, it's totally livable for me, and it doesn't bother me at all." I wish I knew what the triggers were. Um, I really don't know what triggers it, but somehow I do think that when I eat flour and I eat um, a lot of carbs, I do believe that my psoriasis gets worse. When I cut them out, I feel like it gets better. And then sometimes I went to the beach in Florida once, like 2 summers ago. For one day, I went to a beach in Sarasota, and one day in that ocean cleared me. It was weird because my legs were not good when I went down there. I don't know if it was a combination of the sun and the salt water, but that like I went down to Florida. I live in New York City, and it was summertime, and I went down there with psoriasis and came back without it. And then that summer, it was so good. This past summer, I forced myself to go to the beach as many times as I could, which was maybe five, and it did not clear me. But I do think that the ocean helps, and I do think the sun helps. And I think when I'm consistently using the creams, it does help, but I'm not consistent. I do moisturize a lot. I just got a new soap, like oatmeal soap. It was like Trader Joe's, not even expensive. Like, and I've been using it for a few days, and I feel like my psoriasis is so much better. I was just thinking that in the shower today, that I don't know what it is because I've been using different moisturizers, which I don't know. I get very enthusiastic sometimes very quickly when I see something changing, but I also have not been eating any bread or wheat products in the last like 3 weeks. So I definitely think that that has a lot to do with it for me. Um, Sometimes I work with kids, and sometimes they say, "What's wrong with you?" in the summer when they see my skin, and I just say I have a skin disease called psoriasis, and that's it. But other than that, my mild is someone else's. That's mild. I know I've said that already, but I'll say it a million times, and I've been dealing with it fine. And then I'll tell you something. On Instagram, they have like some psoriasis sites, and you can see people who have psoriasis, and they are the most gorgeous people I have ever seen. And it almost empowers me to make me think that I'm in their category. It's almost like a gift from heaven that I have something in common with the most amazingly, courageously beautiful people on this planet. And that really inspires me. Of course, I'm always doing my best to keep my skin clear and to keep it moisturized. I do think Vaseline helps a lot. I think Vaseline is one of the best things too. I don't think expensive, crazy bougie products are necessarily the ones that work, but I also don't think that a lot of the common ones that work for other people work for me. I think you just have to do trial and error, and I think you got to switch it up a lot because I think it becomes resistant to certain things when you use the same product over and over. But I know that I will constantly moisturize. I will constantly pray that one day I will live at a beach. And I deal with it the best I can. I do yoga. I do meditate. I do go to therapy. But like all those things maybe in combination help. But I definitely think that diet definitely helps. And I mean, meditation is the cure all, I believe, for everything. So, I mean, that helps a lot. And as long as my legs do not get like they did that one time, I will be in heaven. I did go back for treatment like 2 years ago. I wanted to get light treatment, but the doctor didn't do like light. He did spotlight treatment. And I went for like a few months, and the machine, I didn't really think it was doing anything. And then they got a new machine, and it was too powerful. It started burning me. Like every time I'd go, like it was so powerful. The old machine was probably broken, and then the new one was too strong, and I just stopped going. So I just think my mental attitude has a lot to do with it. I know I don't like shaving a lot because sometimes on my legs, I'm always afraid that I'm going to cut myself with shaving. So I have to be super, super careful with that. Um, I don't know. I feel really lucky that it's not that bad. At least it's not that bad to me. And that's all that really matters. I feel like I've lived with it for over 20 years now. And it's probably going to be with me for my lifetime now because it's definitely never going away. But keeping it in check definitely